All the parents who utilize their children as content, think family vloggers and influencer parents, and justify it by saying, our kids, our toddlers, our babies, they love making videos. They love seeing themselves on film. That is very different than utilizing their human existence as content, profiting off of their life, and posting these videos for public consumption online.
Hey friends, so today we are talking about the issue with child content. This is something that has been really big on my heart, especially as a parent, because while child content can be fun, like I create like cooking videos and things like that on my children, it can be very dangerous. There was a study that showed that there are more men that consume child content than any other demographic. So just kind of let that sink in. And as a mother of 2 daughters, that is very, very, very concerning for me. And then I'm going to even go so far as to say I have 2 daughters and I have 2 sons. Because a lot of the time, we see the innocence in little girls, and we do tend to forget that, men prey on boys as well, right? One of the things that has always rubbed me the wrong way in particular is the fashion influencer children, because a lot of that content is just way too grown, in my opinion, for a child. So I've been seeing lately this trend of like get ready with me's, and it's like it just seems very suggestive. And I really asked God to deal with my heart on this because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't judging anyone, but it really does come from a place of concern, because you could easily do like, I like when they do like the little thing where you'll see like the kid in like sweats and a t-shirt, right? And then they throw the clothes on the floor and then they jump into the clothes. Okay, that's cool. But I have seen some where literally like the baby has shorts on and a tank top, and then they're actively getting dressed in the video. And I'm just like, whoa, this is way too suggestive, because you guys have to understand that like these weirdos on the internet, if they can't find CP, they'll find the next closest thing. And so if your child is in a tank top and some shorts, especially like biker shorts, first of all, they're showing that baby's body. And second of all, that's all the suggestion that they need. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get into these couple of TikToks, and then I'll come back at the end with my 2 cents and, story time as usual.
So, yeah, they like making videos. They like seeing themselves played back, but they have no idea what you are doing with their videos, how their life is being used as content, and it's all gone too far.
I saw a post the other day that was like normalize little girls dressing like little girls, and it was a post criticizing parents that decide to dress their little girls in like crop tops, short skirts, things like that you normally see in like young women. Now, I have a son, he's 3, so I don't have this problem. However, I have noticed when I take my son to the playground, like the play clothes that they have for little girls, like where are they? The first thing I noticed that the fabric is very, very thin and flimsy. Like even the t-shirts are significantly thinner than my son's t-shirts. And then what I noticed with the shorts, right? So jean shorts are structured. They're not going to move around. Like you go down a slide, you're not going to ride up, nothing like that. But instead, the shorts that are available for little girls are very like flimsy. They're very billowy, right? Even the footwear for girls, like I see little girls already developing blisters from the sandals that they wear. So we say like normalize little girls dressing like little girls, but like we don't allow them the freedom of movement. Like I'm about to go work out right now. Like, do you think I'm wearing like a sandal and dress to go like run 6 miles? Like absolutely not. Like I'm wearing my leggings, I'm wearing like my top to like go work out. Like I can move freely in this. The girl moms can definitely chime in here, please. But like, is there a pressure to dress your girls overtly girly, or do you feel like you're limited in the clothing options for girls, particularly with play clothes, because you guys have all the party clothes?
I've talked to a lot of pedophiles in my career, and when they can't access child porn, do you know what they use? The New York Times did an investigation of child influencers. You can't have an Instagram account if you're under 13, so parents are running accounts for children. Although it's incredible to use social media to start a savings account for your kids, they can go to college and buy a house and a car, bad things are happening. Companies will send you clothing to put on your kids. If you post your kid in that outfit, you can make $3,000 on one post. Here's the problem. They looked at 5,000 child accounts and 32 million followers were adult men. Meta has disclosed that over 500,000 accounts every day have inappropriate content or interactions. When a parent posts a picture of a child and they appear more sexualized, like in a bathing suit, they get far more likes and comments from adult men. Look at my business account. You can see who's looking at you.
See, it be hoes that raise whores like you that be the problem. You think that it is okay for your daughter to dress up in a way that when she walks into the schoolhouse or in the classroom that no male in the room is supposed to look her way. They have to turn their head. No, this post wasn't about grown men looking at females or little kids, but there are men out here that do that. And since you know that, and you still allow your daughter to come out the house dressed in a way that gives them the upper hand to look at a young girl and fantasize or fetishize them, what type of parent does that make you? But as the black community always does, you are going to deflect and you are going to move the goalpost and turn it on everybody but your fucking self. You wake up with that kid in your house. You see that kid dressed as the way they're dressed, and you allow that kid to walk out of your door, get into your car, and drive them to the school and get out of your car dressed in that manner. So no, don't put the blame on nobody else but yourself. These men come to school every day to teach. They don't want to be walking around seeing, kids come in their classroom that's half naked, seeing belly buttons, seeing ass cheeks, like I said. They do dress code checks every single period, every single morning. You think these men just got to, your belly out, well, I'm not going to do a dress code. No, your belly out. You have to go home. Your butt cheeks out. You have to go home, whore. You wearing a too short skirt. You have to go home, hoe. Stop coming up here looking like a goddamn hoe. And now y'all want to put the blame on men? And I'm not taking up for men because it's predators out there, I'm telling you. But because y'all know that it's fucking predators out there, why are you still allowing your children to come out the house dressed like that? That makes you look even worse, hoe. And somebody else got in the comments saying, we just talking about girls. Are you going to talk about boys? The post wasn't about boys. Yes, boys sag. Yes, boys break the dress code too. But we going to talk about them when we need to talk about them. We not moving no goalposts. Don't deflect, hoe. We talking about hoes racing whores.
People aren't going to like hearing this, but they need to hear it. So here it goes. If you follow an account that is primarily or solely based around a child, you are supporting the exploitation of that child. It doesn't matter if you think that what the parent is posting is innocent, or that you think that the kids like doing skits and dances, or the kids look happy because their parents are traveling, or the mom's a good mom, the dad's a funny dad. It doesn't matter if that account would not be successful without regularly or solely featuring that child. It is child exploitation. These children are having some of their basic rights invaded, like their right to privacy, their right to informed consent, and their right to digital safety. Furthermore, there are no laws protecting these children and their labor or the income they are generating for their family online via brand deals or videos that are monetized, right? So you can try and justify watching this all you want, but it doesn't change the fact that it's child exploitation and you are supporting it.
Personal opinion, okay? Little girls should not be wearing things like that. At all. Like, period. No.
Good morning, y'all. So, y'all know I just took my kids to school. Today is MJ first day of high school, and today is Kyron's first day of high school. So, I want to talk to y'all about this issue that we got going on. Why is it that when I pulled up at this school to drop my boys off, I see all these little girls out here looking like they're grown as hell? I mean, their skirts are so short, their ass is pretty much out, okay? I don't think I would feel comfortable with wearing that type of skirt. I be seeing little girls with crop tops, lashes long as hell, ninth graders, nails long as hell. I'm just trying to figure out, when did the times change and when did we feel like that was acceptable for our kids to look like little floozies out here. Now, I know I'm pretty old school. I'm pretty traditional. I'm not with this new world, modern shit that we feel like is acceptable for our kids. But I just want to say to the mamas who be dressing their kids up or make it seem like it's okay, y'all really need y'all ass whooped. Like, I have sons, and I have to like have some serious conversations about the type of people that they're trying to seek in their life. That's never okay. And I'm just so glad I have boys, because I feel like if I had a girl, I would be in jail, like seriously, because there is no way in hell that I would send my child outside looking like some of these kids be looking. I don't know what it is, but yeah, y'all need your ass whooped.
So some of the first day back to school high school fits are definitely giving college. But what I will say is that those of you getting on here saying that they're dressed like hoes are losers, for one. And two, what we're seeing is really just a reflection of the fact that they really have taken away all of the spaces that were catered to tweens and teens. And I know this has been talked about on here before, but it's just becoming so apparent because it wasn't that long ago where in that age range between like 11 to 16 or so had their own everything, their own stores to shop at, TV shows that were catered to them and the experience that they would be going through as tweens and teens, having their own TV stars, their own music stars. Like there was pop stars and groups for the tweens and teens. They had a space for themselves. They had things that were catered to them, to that experience. Now that that is gone, nearly non-existent, where do we think that these kids are shopping? There's no Justice. There's no Too Limited. There's no, like, all of these stores are gone. So now we're seeing that the girls are shopping at Fashion Nova and Pretty Little Thing. And that's a reflection of these first day of school outfits, is that there's nothing catered to them. All they have is constant media and things being put in front of them for adults. So of course we're going to start seeing their youth being shortened and shortened and shortened. Like, it really makes me sad because adulthood in and of itself is already the longest thing that you're going to experience, hopefully. Youth, your adolescence, that is so short. It's very minute. It goes away in a snap and you cannot get it back. So the fact that their youth is being taken away even more because nobody is doing anything to cater to that age range really sucks. And again, I say, for those of you who are saying they're dressed like hoes, you are a loser. We have 1,000,001 entrepreneurs who are in every different type of lane with businesses. And so I just hope that somebody who is thinking of a business idea realizes that there is a lane wide open, many lanes wide open for the target audience of tweens and teens, and filling that gap probably might make him some money.
Something I did not appreciate until I was a parent was the fact that my mom just let me dress like a kid. Nowadays, when you see girls this age today, they're literally wearing crop tops, little shorts, high heels, fake long hair. Not to mention the fact that they're plastered all over social media so that the moms can use them for content. Now as an adult, I can value the fact that I was just outside doing little kid outside stuff. Like, I can value this and respect this over the fact that my parents weren't dripping me out in designer to post it online. And the reason why they were saying no to a lot of things that I wanted to do was actually just because they were trying to preserve my youth. Even during photo shoots, I'm just dressed age appropriately. And so now I'm going to be doing the same thing with my kids. Just let kids dress like kids, let kids act like kids.
I loved the last video so much. Her pictures were so cute and it just took me back. Like, I really feel like the early 2000s and the 90s were like the last of like just genuine fun and being able to be a kid, right? So for myself, especially for my younger two, I ain't no shame in my game, child. I shop at Target. Okay, I love me some Cat and Jack. So for me as a girl mom especially, we know that young girls, especially now, are developing a lot faster than they used to. But I can remember as a little girl, like, if I wanted to wear a certain skirt, and to me, the skirt might have been, the skirt might have been longer than I would have liked it to be. But my dad had been like, nope, it's too far above the knee. You're not wearing that. Even if it was a skirt and it had shorts under it, my daddy did not care, right? And I used to get so upset. Or like my grandma, y'all, listen, my grandma would take us to freaking Macy's and buy us some damn Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, and I hated them jeans so bad. I hated them so bad. They was not cute. They was not flattering. Them things had enough stretch. But, like the young lady in the last video said, like, I hated it, but I'm so grateful now. Now my mom did a really, really, really good job with dressing us. Like, she always said like her girls were like her baby dolls. So we wore, the big fluffy dresses. And y'all, I can remember the very first time that I got a sundress, and I thought I was doing something because I had a little cutout in the back. And y'all, my dad was like, hell no, she's not wearing it. No. And it was like, it literally took for like my grandma to be like, it's okay. Like, it's just the back out. Right. And I always remember like my mama always taught me too, like, even just as a grown woman, like, if you everything doesn't have to be out. So for instance, I love a really cute dress where like, if the back is out, everything in the front is covered. It's kind of like that little, hey, how you doing? Right. But the clothing now for children literally looks like advertising. And I'll never forget when Fashion Nova dropped their kids fashion line. And I remember telling my husband, like, I was so excited to do like the little mommy and me stuff with my babies, but it really looked like these babies was going to the club. Like, why does a child need a crop top? I'm confused. You know what I mean? It's like, it makes me so uncomfortable, and I'm a woman. It makes me so uncomfortable, and I'm a mom. Like, I think that some of these parents forgot, like, especially the young ladies, I think they forgot about when we used to have to stand at the bus stop to go home from school, and it was grown men pulling up telling us to get in the car with them. Like, I'll never forget, I was standing at the bus stop. I think I was in the 8th grade. I was standing at the bus stop, and there was this grown-ass man at the bus stop. And he asked me, like, oh, you go here? I used to go to Audubon. He was like, you go here? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you don't look like no 8th grader. And I was like, yeah, I'm 12. He was like, yeah, you look like you like 16 or something. And even in my head, I was just like, okay, even if I was 16, nigga, you're my daddy's age. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, it just always made me uncomfortable. Like, let's not get started on, the R. Kellys that used to hang around the school, and how a lot of these grown men still try to justify that behavior to this day. With my youngest daughter, like, her legs are long. And so I always make sure that, like, if she wears a 4T, I'm still buying her a 5. Because I didn't realize I had two, like, so my oldest daughter is my bonus. So I met her obviously after the fact. But having little boys, my first 2 biological children were boys. I wasn't used to that. Like, I was excited about buying girl stuff, yes, but like, I did not realize that little girls are born with hips and things like that. I didn't have any like infant daughters obviously before that. And so it's like I buy her all the little cutesy stuff, but I'm very, very, very conscious about the things that I put her in. So with her legs being so long, it's like when I buy her shorts, she wears a lot of biker shorts for that very reason. Because even if I buy her shorts that are quote unquote in her size, and then maybe it's, I don't know, because I seen somebody else, like the lady that was talking about how she has a son and like the play clothes on little girls are small. And I was like, I thought I was tripping. No, these shorts is short, y'all. Like, it's crazy. Like, I literally have to buy her like 2 sizes bigger than what she wears. And it has to be a drawstring just so that it fits, so that the shorts and the skirts hit an appropriate length. Like, I buy her hella skirts. She's so girly. Like, so I buy her skirts. But even like her skirts, like I buy her like the, everybody's wearing like the tennis skirts right now. I buy her those, but I still make sure that like I said, she's in a 4T, but I'm buying like a 5'6", because I want to make sure that the skirt is long enough. Another thing that I do is like, I noticed that a lot of dresses lately, you'll buy the dress in their size, and then after you wash the dress, it shrinks. So I either have to buy the dress 2 sizes too big, or the dress ends up becoming a shirt. Like, and then another thing that I do is, like, they were talking about leggings and how leggings are so thin now. Like, unless my baby is at home and she's just running around in the house, literally, like, we put dresses over the leggings so that the dress covers the parts that need to be covered up. But the dress, because the dress is shrunk, the dress is now so short that she needs something under the dress. So it's crazy, but it's just so concerning, because you're seeing these young babies, like babies, y'all. Like, I think chunky babies are so cute, but it is very concerning when you're seeing a 2-year-old and she's chubby and she got on these uber tight leggings, or she got on a damn near a bodycon dress with a purse and glasses, and her hair is done up like a grown woman. Like, what does a 2-year-old need with a swoop and a top knot bun? Like, what happened to ponytails and barrettes and stuff? Like, I really am big on trying to keep my baby a baby as long as possible. And it's just like, how many of us have stories about, you know, the men around us that we knew looking at us funny, or, you know, some of us were SA'd as children. And so it's just like, you went through that, or you were exposed to some of that, or you knew somebody that was, or you had a friend that was. Why would you put your baby in that situation? You know what I mean? Like, and then when it comes to like little boys, like for instance, my son has a lot of hair. I got a thing with like posting little boys on the internet and their hair is long and they don't have a shirt on. Like, what are we really doing here? I'll never forget, like, when I had Ayana, and my husband was like, yeah, so I just need you to know, now that we're having a girl, like, I don't do 2-piece bathing suits, none of that, right? And I was just like, well, they look so cute with their little bellies out. And he was like, nah. But when I really sat down and thought about it, I was like, you know what? He's right. In my baby's old daycare that she used to go to, they would do water day. And the daycare lady is very old school. And so she was just like, listen, like, don't send these kids in no bikinis, no, none of that, right? But even with me, I was just like, okay, when they do water day, she uses her front yard. And it made me a little like weary, because not from her, like I fully trust her. But it was just like, you know, I don't even want to put my baby in a one piece, because, you know, they're running around and they're kids and they're innocent, but you don't know who's looking at them little babies' backsides. You know what I mean? Or, you know, like when my youngest son was going there as well, like, I had bought him obviously like his swim trunks, but he had like the rash guard shirt, because you don't know who's looking at my baby with his chest out. You know what I mean? Like, and Kat and Jack had these cute little coveralls, like the cover up dresses, and I ended up buying Yanni. So I bought Yanni a bathing suit, and then I bought her the cover up dress, because that little girl loves dresses. So she's running around the front yard, you know, and she just thinks she got a dress on. But it is very concerning. You know what I mean? And then people, grown women, are getting doxxed and their house is getting broken into. Like, look at, you know, those stories about the young lady that was an OnlyFans model, and that man broke into her house and unalived her. You know, like, please never think that, like, they won't do it to your children. And I've spoken about it so much, you guys. I used to yell it from the mountaintops. Stop posting your kids' schools. Like, you guys really don't think about, like, and I get it. A lot of the time it's like, oh, I'm just sharing this with friends and family. But I tell people all the time, like, people hack people's pages. So you might think that you're posting this and it's just like, oh, it's just my parents and family members. And it might be some weirdo that hacked your parents' page. Our parents are old now, y'all. They fall for the okie doke. Their pages get hacked all the time, right? So I tell people, like, all it takes is you've been posting your baby on social media, right? You got some weirdo that's been watching your page. Now your baby gets honor roll. Now you done posted the baby with the honor roll certificate and you didn't block their name off. So now this weirdo knows where your kid goes to school, right? All they got to do now is get on the school website or call the school, and the school, the automated system will tell this weirdo what time your baby gets out of school, right? So now they're sitting there and they watching everybody that's in the pickup line, you know, see who comes out, and all it takes is for them to recognize your kid. Now, what if your kid happens to be one of them kids that walk home from school? Like, come on now. And the internet has made it just way too easy. Like, my oldest son, he wanted to walk home from school with his best friend. And I ended up telling, his dad reached out to me and asked me what I thought about it. And I ended up telling him, like, I told my son I'm not comfortable with that. Because, y'all, before middle school started, I checked the Megan's Law website for my neighborhood specifically, like just literally the street that I live on. And there are so many of them on this street. And all it takes is for them to notice that your kid is by themselves one time. And that was something that just didn't sit right with me. Because even though you could tell your kids about stranger danger all day, but these people are finessers. These people will literally, like, come on now. Remember when we were all younger? I'm 34. I was born in 1990. Remember when we were younger and they was telling us about stranger danger, and then the internet came along and they was telling us about, you know, being careful on the internet, and look at how many people were our age at the time that was getting abducted, because these grown men, and we can get on these grown women too, because a lot of these grown women, it's a lot easier for them to abduct these children because women seem safer. Think about how many people that are trafficked. A lot of them get baited in by other women. I have a story time here on my channel about how I was almost trafficked by this man and the girl that he used to make me feel safe. Like, it's not a game out here, and they just get worse and worse. And they will find where your babies are. They will abduct your babies. You'll never see them again. Like, they'll get sold into work. Like, bro, watch all these documentaries on these little girls that literally get abducted from their front door. Somebody come knocking on the door. They open the door, and now they snatched that. It's just all kind of stuff. Their friends are telling them. It's a girl out here in LA whose daughter was running away. She was a 304. Her daughter was running away, so her daughter ran away. And the daughter's friend that she went to school with is the one that recruited her to be a baby 304. They had some folks and everything. Like, a lot of the time I get it. It's just like, oh, your daughter's pretty. Look at her little outfit. Oh, hey, Fashion Nova, give us a deal. I totally get it. But we have to be more vigilant. Like, we have to be more careful because people are weird. And then, like, if you have certain pages, like if you have like a business page or if you have like a TikTok, you can see your analytics. And you can see how many people have actually shared or saved your picture. Like, I feel so bad for celebrities because their kids are all over the internet. And you don't know if someone's sharing your kid's picture to say, oh my God, look at her outfit, how cute. Or if they're sharing it for other sinister reasons. You know what I mean? So that's all I have for you guys today. This is something that's been really on my heart. And I just want to say that I'm not judging anybody. I'm coming as a fellow mom. And I guess you can call me an internet auntie or however you want to put it. But it really is coming from a place of concern. And now in the age of AI, in the age of AI, you really don't know what's going on. Like, you never know anybody's intentions. And I always say, I know what happened to me as a child by men that were close to me. And, my dad was very much in the picture, and I knew I was safe around my dad. And the things that happened to me didn't happen around my dad, of course. But you just never know. And another thing before I go, I want to speak on. How many of you all, when you grew up, realized how many of them uncles, and I'm using air quotes, were actually looking at you and couldn't wait for you to get older? There were a number of grown men that were my uncles growing up, my mama's friends, that when I got older would DM me and reach out to me and be professing their attraction and weird shit for me. Or I'll never forget, my auntie introduced me to this man talking about, oh yeah, woo P this and he that, like, get his number. And come to find out the man was her age. We 13 years apart. And I was grown. But why are you pushing me off on this man? Like, it's weird. It's really weird. And there are people that live through their children. Even my 14-year-old. My 14, almost 15-year-old. Like, I'm very funny with the things that she wears around me. I can't tell her mom what to do. I don't have any issue with her mom. Me and her mom are real cool. But I will say that I dress her a little different. I still want her to feel like, like, oh, I'm cute and whatever. But my daughter has a body. And I don't want these men, and I've explained that to my baby. Like, baby, you could tell in your face that you are still a baby. But these men don't care. They'll justify that by what your body looks like. And me and her dad have been having a lot of conversations with her about, yeah, you want to weave? Like, you got a mama that do hair. You want to weave? Like, yeah, I'll put you a weave in. But it still has to look age appropriate. It still has to look the length of your hair. You know what I mean? Like, she's in that stage now where, like, she wants to see how long she can get her nails. Or she wants to wear lashes. And her dad had to explain to her, like, you don't have to be in a rush for this. And he had to break it down to her from a male's perspective. Understand that it's not even just the boys you go to school with. It's these grown-ass men that are going to look at you and say, oh, okay, so her parents let her wear these long-ass nails, or her parents let her wear lashes. Well, what else your mom and dad let you do? Or, oh, so, they don't really know what you up to, You know, oh, okay, this is probably when I could sneak around. You know what I mean? Like, I've even had to explain to her, like, hey, you know, I know your dad could be a little rough around the edges, but don't never let one of these little niggas or these grown ass men ever make you go against your daddy, because the minute that they feel like they can get you away from your father is when they're going to try to do whatever they want to or can to you. And you're going to be so embarrassed, you don't want to tell your dad what's going on, that it gives them even more ammo to do what they did. And I had to explain to her, like, baby, I know, because I was one. Your papa would have crashed out about me. And I knew that. But I thought I was, you know, I thought I was above the program. You know what I mean? And I just feel like a lot of us, we were traumatized. We were over-sexualized. We were whatever happened to us, so that the younger generation don't have to. And let's bring back, I know some people don't want people to tell them how to parent their kids, or they don't want nobody saying nothing to their kids, but let's bring back, you know, like, let's bring back the village. I really feel like part of the reason why we don't have a village is because people don't want nobody saying nothing to their kids. But it was a lot less things that we went through and were exposed to when the village was in full effect. You know, like my best friend, when my best friend can't get through to my niece, I can. You know, like my auntie was my person growing up. My mama, I felt like my mama was too harsh. She wasn't the easiest to talk to. But my auntie could break things down on a level where it was like, oh, this is what she's talking about. Okay. You know, like my auntie would tell me them stories and be like, hey, look, this and this happened to me. Like, this is why I'm telling you X, Y, Z. So watch out. You know what I mean? So anyway, that is what I have for you all today. As always, get in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Tell me your story times if you feel safe enough to do so. This is definitely a safe space. We don't do the negative comments here. They get blocked and deleted. All of that. So I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys so much for being here. Bye.